so of course here I am shooting a video for you. Today's tutorial is not on a move per se, but it's a concept that applies to the broad of tricking. Pretty much every flip you do, this concept will come into play, and every single flip tutorial I make, I end up talking about this. So I kind of want to give it its own video, just blast out the details for you, tell you everything I know about setting and timing. When you want to do a flip, technique is the most important thing. You have to know how to do the move you're about to do before you try it. Safety is also up there as most important. Can you perform or practice this move safely? But now when it comes down to the execution of the move itself, there's one particular part of it that is the most important, and that is the set and the timing. I'm placing these two things together because they go hand in hand, but they're a little bit different. But what is a set really? It applies to any flip you do. A set is the positioning that you are in immediately after you jump. Well, it encompasses the amount of time from right before you jump till a little bit after you jump. It's about the position that you maintain during your takeoff. And so maintaining a good position during takeoff is essential to landing a good flip. Let me show you what I mean. And additionally, just timing is pretty self-explanatory, and I'll get into more of that once we've gone over the set. The timing of the set is its own thing as well. So we're gonna take many different flips, and I'm gonna show you what the set looks like for many different flips because it changes every time. I'll show you how you set for them. But for starts, we're gonna talk about a backflip. The best backflip tip I can give you is to do the timing right and make sure you set. Many people wonder why their backflips are low or very difficult to do. It's the conjunction of two things. The set of the backflip is the most important part. It's what allows you to go up first instead of backwards. And that's the general idea for sets as a whole, that you are going up with your body, maintaining straight and neat posture so that the set or the send into the flip is clean. Just to get your brain moving, if you've never seen the difference before, I'll show you the difference between a good set and a bad set. Here's not so good set. So as you can see, I really was able to land it quite easily, even with a pretty bad setting. And I do whip around quite nicely. I can explain why actually, but first let me show you what a good set looks like. So, what was different about those two flips? Now you'll notice I whip around a lot faster with the poor set, the bad technique I was trying to show you. The reason for that being, your set stops once you lean back, once you initiate the flip. So once the flip is started, the height part of it stops. You will rotate at whatever height you were set at. So now you see why I was able to actually rotate faster on the incorrect form one. And that's because pretty much immediately after jumping I said, do not need to go up anymore, just gonna work on the spin. And that's why a lot of beginners have backflips that look somewhat similar to the first ones I showed you. Because the emphasis for them is just to make sure they get around, don't land on their head, don't die. And so it's very good for learning, but correcting the set can be a little bit scary. Nonetheless, it's worth the effort. With the second flip I did, the backflip, the good set, you'll notice that I stayed upright and straight for as long as I could. That's what allowed me to get a lot more height on my flip, even though the rotation was not as easy. Off that last thought, you may notice that if you set good, that the rotation is more difficult. And that means that there's a lack of balance. There is such a thing as too much set. If you jump and you hold the set position far longer than is due, then you'll find yourself kind of flying in the air, terrified for your life. And when this happens on a backflip, that's when you land on your head and your neck, because now you're up in the air, you want to go, your brain is trying to go, but you waited too long, and now physics is working against you. So you do want to go up, but you want to make sure you get the timing right as well. So I told you I would mention timing and set. You want to, when it comes to backflips in particular, but all flips broadly, you want to set for a good amount As you're jumping, keep staying straight up. But once you're reaching the peak of your jump, you're not quite at the peak of your jump. If you wait till you hit the top, by the time you start, you'll be on your way down. So right before you hit the peak of the jump, that's when you want to initiate the flip and cancel your set. Well, I'm going to do another flip for you, just because I've been talking a lot. I want you to visualize these concepts as well. So I'm going to do a good backflip, watch my set, watch my timing. I stay straight up for as long as I can. When the time is right, I pull it in, use my core to spin fast. So now I believe you understand the meaning of set and how the timing plays into it. Now I'd like to show you the set for a few other flips as well. We'll start with the gainer. Cheek gainer, running gainer, all of it fits the same category. The set is similar to such. Your leg is getting you height, you want to kick off the ground, leg straight if you can, torso pretty straight. Once you're heading off the ground, then you can pull it in to rotate. With cheek gainers and kicks and such, it's a lot easier to rotate, so even if you don't set perfectly, you're almost guaranteed to land. Now for front flips, I'll use a Webster to demonstrate, but the same idea is present. Since I use a Webster, it's all about the back kick. I want to maintain a straight posture for as long as I can, though for Websters you do dip, and I want to keep my back leg straight as well. My back leg and chest positioning in their likeness to each other is my set. Alright, last little thing I want to go over when it comes to the set. This is especially true when you're talking about flip variations. For one, landing a flip, making a flip look good, a good set is essential, making sure you know the right body positioning and the timing for it. And when you get into variations, a variation, for example, adding a twist or a kick or a twist and a half kick, anything really, you are using the base trick as your set. So if I wanted to do a cork, for example, that's a cheek gainer twist, it's essential that I set as if I'm doing a cheek gainer. Once I've set the rotation for the cheek gainer, gotten off the ground, then I can start thinking about variations. This applies everywhere. Not just because it looks better, but because that's the mechanically efficient way to do it. When it comes to flips, timing is everything. So I will now show you the difference between a cork with pretty bad set, if I can intentionally make a bad set, versus a good set cork. So as you can see, landing is really no problem once you get good at the motion itself, but that is hardly what I would call a clean cork. Let me show you what's a little bit more my speed. Good gainer set, get that kick first, then you can twist. I find that the best way to land variations is to practice the base trick. So if I want to land a good cork, I should just do a good cheek gainer first. Make sure I have a good cheek gainer set. Once I have that, I'll twist. That sums up this little tutorial ding-bit. Hope the brain juices are sinking in for you. I hope this knowledge helps you. If you want to be good at flips, you have to learn to control your body. Timing and body positioning fall into that category. So when you're out practicing your flips, think about a good set. Make sure your body positioning is right such that you are in an optimal state to get height and rotation once you set it. But don't go too early on the rotation. Take your time. Alright. Peace, love, rubber gloves, cheese out. Much love.